us right now in our market roundtable is David Bianco, Chief U.S. Equity Strategist at Bank of America Merrill Lynch Global Research. He's not surprised by today's rally. Just a day after last Thursday's sell-off, he declared the S&P 500 broadly undervalued. Also with us is Jacob Kirkegaard, Research Fellow at the Peterson Institute for International Economics and author of the book Transforming the European Economy. So a great group to talk about all the news coming out of Greece and so on. David, let me start with you. This package in terms of Greece, I mean, are we really fixing anything or just putting a little bit of a Band-Aid on a huge, huge injury over here?
What you see going on is the ECB is committed to giving time to the peripheral economies to heal. We know there's too much debt in those southern European economies, but the ECB is making it quite clear that they are going to be under the ECB's umbrella, and there'll be no speculative attacks on those countries. And slowly, through the IMF and the EU plan, there will be deleveraging in Greece and the rest of those southern European countries.
Is it all as it looks? And Jacob, let me ask you, I have this sort of image of walking into the ECB and seeing somebody behind the curtain kind of controlling everything. It's not really $1 trillion shock and awe package, is it? Because a lot of the governments in Europe still have to vote on this, and a lot of them are obviously not standing so firmly behind the bailout as evidenced by the elections in Germany.
Yeah, but what you see going on here, excuse me, sorry.
Jacob?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you're right. I mean, you know, these very big numbers that are being tossed around are really sort of conditional financing. And it's, you know, it's still subject to a lot of political risk with the kind of parliamentary votes that we saw in Germany last week, only this time, of course, on much larger numbers. But I think with respect to the ECB intervention, this really is a watershed that, you know, the ECB has conformed its second big U-turn of the last couple of weeks. So I think that really is, you know, that marks a significant change, and it marks a significant reduction in the kind of speculative vulnerability of particularly European financial institutions, and as well as the weaker European sovereigns in Portugal and Greece.
But Jacob, let me ask you, because, I mean, how can the states that might themselves ultimately need aid, I mean, how can they afford these guarantees? It doesn't make sense. It's like robbing, you know, Paul to pay Peter, or robbing Peter to pay Paul. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me.
No, I mean, it's clear that, you know, it doesn't make much sense for a country like Portugal to have to cough up a lot of money to rescue Greece. But I think nonetheless that what we have seen today, or last night at least, was that if you look at the precise structure of the European intervention, you have one new facility for 60 billion euros, which is basically financed by all of the EU 27. And then you have this other big special purpose vehicle financed by bilateral guarantees from the Eurozone countries. So I think there is a distinction to be made there, and the big facility of 440 billion is really, in my opinion, only relevant with respect to Spain. It's not, in my opinion, going to play any role but with respect to any problems concerning Portugal.